Welcome back to another episode of All Ball Media. Today is Friday, March 7th. We'll be going over a nice weekly recap of things that happened throughout this week, a little bit of NFL updates for the offseason, an introduction for the UFC card tomorrow, Saturday, March 8th, how the Arnold Palmer Invitational is going, updates on the TGL and the Unrivaled League, as well as updates on the Champions League, the Concacafa Champions Cup, and how the NHL trade deadline is looking, because it's just almost ending here. Okie dokie. First order of business today, we have the overview of how that Arnold Palmer Invitational is looking. The way that yesterday, Thursday, finished, Wyndham Clark was in the lead and only 5 players broke 70. Currently, a couple of the field members have already finished playing, and the top leaderboard looks something like Shane Lowry in first with a score of 8 under. Wyndham Clark is still in second, holding that position with 6 under. The Canadian Corey Connors is at 5 under. Tied with him is Keegan Bradley as well at 5 under. Tied for 5th, we have Russell Henley at 4 under. Tied with him, we have Rory McIlroy with 4 under, Siwoo Kim with 4 under, and then tied for 8th, we have Justin Thomas at 3 under, Max Greiserman at 3 under, and Jason Day at 3 under. Ludwig is also tied for 11th. Colin Morikawa, Sepp Straka, Mackenzie Hughes, Tony Finau, Justin Rose, just to kind of name a few of the top leaderboard. Scotty was in the top 5 after yesterday. He has now dropped pretty significantly, and I saw he was 2 over. That's his current score. So I don't know how well he's going to be doing on the comeback. I wanted to introduce how the weather was going to be looking down there in Orlando. Today they have a high of 76 with 1 to 6 mile per hour winds and 37% average humidity. Tomorrow they have a high of 80 with 2 to 7 mile per hour winds and a 47% average humidity. On Sunday it's getting a little hotter, 85 high, 2 to 12 mile per hour winds, and then 60% average humidity. I did see on Monday they are expecting rain down in Orlando, so naturally all of the conditions are kind of leaning towards a little bit more moisture in the air and a little bit more wind with those clouds coming in. So keep a lookout to see how these golfers finish on Sunday. But that's your little intro and update to how the Arnold Palmer Invitational is going. On to the TGL. On Monday we had 2 matches, and on Tuesday we also had a match. Like we said on Monday's episode, LA did beat the Bay 5-3. New York beat Boston 10-6. And then on Tuesday, Atlanta laid it on to Jupiter. They beat them 9-1. We do have a playoff picture. That's about all the games for the regular season. The playoff picture looks something like LA versus New York and the Bay versus Atlanta. The LA versus New York will be March 17th. That's a Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then on Tuesday, the following day, March 18th, we have the Bay and Atlanta going against each other. I did want to highlight the mention in the media that it's kind of crazy that this league was brought to us by Tiger Woods, Rory, and a third member. His name escapes me now. I think his name is Matthew something. But yeah, Rory and Tiger did not make it to their playoffs, so they don't even have the chance of winning the SoFi Cup. Interesting stuff that you create a league in. I guess it would look a little weird if they did make it to the playoffs, but it still looks weird to not have them in the playoffs. But those are the clubs that we have going into the playoffs for the TGL. Those start up the Monday after Selection Sunday, so cool stuff. That's all I have for you on the TGL. The playoffs are going to be really good. I really hope they have an idea of changing the format, not necessarily hit the play, because I do like the 3-man and then the individual hole play. But maybe a little mix-up on the course would be cool. That would be pretty interesting to kind of just throw a little wrench into how the days played out there on the simulator. So, all we got for the TGL. Stay tuned for more. Oh! Moving on to the update on soccer. We had those Champions League matches on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, and they looked something like Aston Villa beat Brugge 3-1. Dortmund and Lille tied 1-1. Arsenal laid the wood on PSV 7-1. Real Madrid beat Atletico Madrid 2-1. Those were Tuesday's matches. Moving on to Wednesday. Inter beat Feyenoord 2-0. Bayern Munich beat Leverkusen 3-0. Barcelona beat Benfica 1-0. PSG lost to Liverpool 1-0. Those are the updates. We'll be having more matches next week. March 11th, we'll start the second leg, including the aggregate scores. So same matchups. The locations will be changing, so if the clubs are at one spot, then they'll be at another spot. So naturally, just something like the German teams are still going to be in Germany, the Italian teams will still be in Italy, the Spanish teams will still be in Spain. It's more so like the Dutch teams that are playing the Italians that are making a little bit of a trip, but it's not too crazy. Moving on to the Concacafa Champions Cup updates. The Tuesday scores for them went something like Cincinnati tied with Tigres 1-1, Pumas beat Alajuelenses 2-0, LAFC beat Columbus Crew 3-0. On Wednesday's matches, Guadalajara beat America 1-0, Herediano beat LA Galaxy 1-0, the Sounders and Cruz Azul tied at 0-0, the Vancouver Whitecaps tied with Monterrey 1-1. And then on Thursday, Inter Miami beat Cavaliers SC 2-0. Those are the updates for those matches. Once again, similar to the Champions League, those scores will be rolled over for the aggregate play next week, starting on Tuesday, March 11th, and we'll introduce those a little bit more with the aggregate scores, and they'll be playing on Monday. But that's your little soccer update. Hope you caught some of the games. That Arsenal one was crazy, and even the Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid was really close. The PSG and Liverpool also was a good one, but if you didn't catch the first legs, don't worry, next week we'll be having the second legs, as well as the Concacafa Champions Cup. Moving on to the UFC card 313 this weekend. It all starts, or finishes, I should say, with Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. It's going to be a good one. Both of their records are pretty crazy. Alex is 12-2-0. Magomed is 21-1. Alex is just an inch taller. He also has 4-inch reach advantage on him, and he's also 5 years older than him. The striking should be good, but I imagine that Magomed is probably going to try to do a couple of takedowns. He's averaging one takedown, 9.2 if you round that up a match. That one's going to be a really good one. Naturally, the main card of this fight is on pay-per-view, so if you want to get that, check it out. The second fight, or the second to last fight, is Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. This might be Justin Gaethje's last fight. As far as how they stand, tail of tape, Gaethje's about 3 inches taller than him, and Fiziev has about 1.5 inch reach on him. Same kind of deal, but none of these gentlemen really take down. They're a little bit more into the hands game, if you know what I mean. So I would expect a finish. You never know with Justin. He's going to get knocked out or he's going to knock somebody out. So that one's going to be electric. Moving on to Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Both of these gentlemen are the same height. Jalen has about 1.5 inch reach on him. Jalen has a couple takedown averages, so I would expect just a little bit of grappling from this. But out of this three-round match, I lean Ignacio with the finish. So that's where we're going on that. The women are fighting next. We have Amanda Lemos versus Ismin Luindo. I lean Amanda. She's a dog. She's got hands and she could take down. But Asmin does have about a 2.5 average takedown percentage, and she's about 50% from takedown. So 2.5, average that out, 1.5, or 1.35, whatever you want to say. I would lean this one's going to be a good one. Don't sleep on the ladies. I lean because of all the grappling and the movement and the striking and the size. It will probably go the distance, but keep an eye out on that one. Finishing us off with our pay-per-view card, we have King Green, aka Bobby Green. He's fighting Mauricio Ruffy. Mauricio is 1 inch taller, and he's also 10 years younger with the 4-inch reach advantage. Bobby's really the only one that shoots. I would lean towards a finish, more so towards Mauricio. It's not that Bobby's washed or anything, but I just lean the young talent. He hasn't really been tested. This is going to be a bit of a test. Bobby's got hands, and he knows his way around the octagon, so it should be a good one. Starting off, or finishing off the prelims, I should say, we have Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kunvi. I lean Curtis Blades. I just love him. He's got 4-inch reach advantage. He's also 2 years older. There is a takedown average on both these gentlemen, but they're big boys. That's a heavyweight match, so expect hands and a possible first or second round finish from Curtis. That's pretty much all the names I wanted to highlight. The only other one was a pretty early prelim fight between Chris Gutierrez and John Castenda. I like Chris Gutierrez. I've seen him fight for a couple years now. He has a 3-inch height advantage on John, as well as he has a little bit of a less reach advantage on John, though. John is averaging about 1.79 takedowns, so it definitely could go to the match, but I lean more of a striking battle between these gentlemen and a finish, lean towards Chris Gutierrez. That is your update for the UFC. It's going to be a good one. The prelims will be on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus. If you don't have that, you can always try to find a stream or something like that, but you definitely want to tune into these pay-per-view matches. They're going to be bangers. Slap shot at your face, son. We're moving on to hockey. A lot of movement just today in the couple of hours that we've had today on this fine Friday. Technically it happened yesterday, but it went through this morning. Brock Nelson of the New York Islanders will be going to the Colorado Avalanche, as well as William Dufour. The Avalanche are sending forward Callum Ritchie and defender Oliver Kylington, and a first-round pick. The Ducks are getting defender Oliver Kylington from the Islanders in a 3-way trade. The Islanders will be getting a future considerations pick. The Oilers are getting defender Jake Wallman from the Sharks. The Sharks are getting forward Carl Berglund and a conditional 2026 first-round pick. The Capitals are getting forward Anthony Beauvillier, and the Penguins are getting a 2025 second-round pick. The Kings are getting Andrei Kuzmenko and a 2025 seventh-round pick, and the Flyers will be getting a 2027 third-round pick for that. The Senators will be getting center Dylan Kozin and defender Dennis Gilbert and a 2026 second-round pick. The Sabres will be getting center Josh Norris and defender Jacob Bernard Docker. The Winnipeg Jets got themselves a defender by the name of Luke Sheen, and the Penguins got themselves a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 fourth-round pick. The Jets also got a forward by the name of Brandon Tanvey, and the Kraken got a 2027 second-round pick. The Maple Leafs got center Scott Lawton, a fourth-round pick, and a sixth-round pick. Looks like the Flyers got Nikita Gerbinkin and a conditional 2027 first-round pick, retaining 50% of Lochton's salary as well. The big one today, Mikko Rantanen will be going to the Dallas Stars from the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes will be getting forward Logan Stankoven. And 2 first-round picks, 2026 and 2027, as well as 2 third-round picks for 2026 and 2027. The Avalanche also got center Charlie Coyle and a 2026 fifth-round pick. The Bruins got center Casey Middlestad and a left wing by the name of Will Zellers and a 2025 second-round pick. The Red Wings got goalie, Peter Mrazek, forward Craig Smith, and the Blackhawks got forward Joe Veleno. The Blue Jackets got forward Luke Kunin, and the Sharks got a 2025 fourth-round pick from St. Louis. They got that from the Blue Jackets, but the Blue Jackets had acquired that pick from St. Louis. The Devils got Cody Glass. The Penguins got a third-round pick. The Maple Leafs got defender Brandon Carlo, and the Bruins got defender Connor Timmins. And the big news today, the Boston Bruins are sending Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers, and is to be decided what they will be getting for him still. That is your update for the NHL. I saw this little tracker that they have on ESPN tracking Ovechkin's goals. If you were interested in that, which he's getting pretty close, he's currently at 885. Gretzky's at 894. So, just a couple away. He should break it in the regular season. If not, the Capitals are making a great run, and he will probably break it in the playoffs. Just career goals. It's not necessarily regular season or playoff, but Gretzky does hold the record for both, regardless. So, someone's going to catch him eventually. We'll see if Ovi does it. That's your little update on hockey for the free agency and how the trade deadline's been going around. Next, we have the NFL. Okay, moving on to the NFL. Just a little bit of free agency action, like we left off on Monday with a little bit of news of Matthew and Debo. Bobby Wagner re-signed a one-year deal with the Commanders. I saw that the Seattle Seahawks released Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf is requesting a trade. I also saw that the Eagles had released Darius Slayton. And in other news for the Bengals, Sam Hubbard, shout out Sam Hubbard, he is going to be retiring. Congratulations, Sam, the Cincinnati kid, holding it down for the home team for all those years. Got him to a Super Bowl. Didn't work out how they would have wanted, but hell, it's better than not getting to the show at all. In other news, I know a lot of people are just trying to get these contracts signed. I saw that the Eagles re-signed Saquon and Zach Bond, so shout out them for keeping that squad consistent. And there will be definitely a lot more news as the free agency market continues to be open. Basketball time. We're talking men's college basketball first. It was a really good week. I keep hammering it, and I'll continue to hammer it, that it is March. Selection Sunday is 9 days away. There is a good handful of teams that have already automatically qualified for the tournament, whether it be the smaller schools that are making it out of their conference, or a lot of these bigger names that have had a solidified number of regular season wins and they're moving on to the tournament. We'll give a better update for the bracket on Monday, but I wanted to overview how the week went. We had a couple of pretty big upsets. On Tuesday, Texas A&M beat Auburn 83-71. Texas A&M is ranked 22nd. Auburn is first. We also had a basketball match that went to double overtime. BYU ended up upsetting Iowa State 88-85. BYU's 23rd. Iowa State is 10th. As far as upsets this week, on Tuesday we had another game go to overtime. Texas beat Mississippi State. Mississippi State is ranked 25th. They beat them 87-82. On Wednesday, Ole Miss beat Tennessee. Tennessee's ranked 4th. Ole Miss beat them 76. More upsets. Non-ranked Oklahoma beat Missouri, ranked 15th, 96-84. And UConn, not ranked, beat Marquette, ranked 20th, 72-66. Those games are on Wednesday. We only had one ranked game yesterday, Thursday, March 6th, and it was Michigan State, ranked 8th, playing Iowa. They beat them 91-84. Michigan State did go on to take the outright Big Ten regular season title with that win. So naturally, they are going to be advancing to the tournament. Today, we only have 2 ranked games. Ranked 18th, Purdue is playing Illinois. As much as Purdue is ranked, I do lean Illinois at home. South Florida is playing Memphis in Memphis. Memphis is ranked 16th. South Florida is not ranked. Memphis should beat them pretty well. On Saturday, we have a nice little slate here. Starting off with St. John ranked 6th playing Marquette ranked 20th. Kentucky ranked 19th is playing Missouri ranked 15th. Mississippi State, still 25, is playing Arkansas. Penn State is playing ranked 12 Wisconsin. Iowa State 10 is playing Kansas State. South Carolina is playing number 4 ranked Tennessee. Stanford is playing ranked 14th ranked Louisville. Alabama and Auburn, that's going to be a great one at Auburn. We'll see. They don't really need to play. They've already kind of made it, but naturally to just show up and finish strong in the SEC, I would be interested to see how that goes. I did see that Johnny got hurt recently. The gentleman for Auburn, he messed up his shoulder. So shout out health and wellness to him. It would be nice to have a healthy big man for Auburn. That would make the tournament a lot more fun to watch. Moving on. Northwestern is playing ranked 13th Maryland. Texas A&M is playing LSU. Texas A&M is 22nd. Arizona ranked 24th is playing Kansas. You suck, Kansas. Ole Miss is playing Florida. Florida's 5th. Virginia Tech, is playing Clemson, ranked 11th. Duke, number 2, is playing North Carolina. Texas Tech is playing Arizona State. Houston is playing Auburn. That should be a good one. They're at Baylor. Not Auburn. Houston versus Baylor. Another Big 12 matchup there. And then finishing us off, we have Utah playing BYU. Don't sleep on those Utah Utes. They are going to be at BYU, but you never know. And then I wanted to highlight Sunday. We have the Battle of Michigans. Michigan is playing Michigan State, and that will be a great one. That's all we have for right now. A lot more of these bigger conferences will be starting next week. Just looking forward, on Monday we have the WCC tournament semifinals starting, and that'll be in Vegas. Selection Sunday is only 9 days away. We'll get a better introduction to see who's probably most likely going to be qualifying out of these conferences to make it towards the bracket, and then we'll do a little shout out to the brackets. Moving on to the women's. On this week, we had a good amount of games. Monday and Tuesday, no top 25 ranked games. On Wednesday, Texas A&M lost to Tennessee, ranked 18th, 37-77. God damn. On Thursday, Georgia, not ranked, lost to 10 ranked Oklahoma, 70-52. North Carolina beat Boston College, 78-71. North Carolina's 14. Tennessee, ranked 18th, lost to Vanderbilt, 84-76. Florida beat 19th ranked Alabama, 63-61. Kansas State, ranked 20th, beat UCF, 80-65. And then Iowa upset Michigan State, ranked 24th, 74-61. We also had the South Dakota Jackrabbits beat Omaha, 87-67. South Dakota's ranked 25th. Shout out the Jackrabbits. Today, we have a good slate. Very good slate. Colorado's playing 8th ranked TCU. Oklahoma's playing Kentucky, 10 versus 12. Michigan, not ranked, is playing 15th ranked Maryland. Cal's playing 6th ranked Notre Dame. Ole Miss is playing number 1 ranked Texas. Nebraska is playing number 4 ranked USC. Iowa State is playing number 17th ranked Baylor. Louisville's playing number 11 ranked Duke. Florida's playing number 9 ranked LSU. Iowa's playing number 13th ranked Ohio State. Texas Tech is playing the 22nd ranked Oklahoma State. And it looks like we already had some winners. USC beat Indiana, 84-79. South Carolina beat Vanderbilt, ranked 5th is South Carolina, 84-63. North Carolina beat Florida State 60-57. 14 beat 22, and then 16 beat 20. West Virginia beat Kansas State 73-69. Tomorrow, only a handful of games, but same thing with the ladies. A lot more of these conferences are going into their tournaments. So tomorrow, Saturday, we have St. John's versus UConn for the Big East Tournament quarterfinals. We have North Dakota versus South Dakota for the Summit League Championship semifinals. And then we're still figuring out who USC will be playing in the Big Ten tournament, who South Carolina will be playing in the SEC tournament. And then we have Georgetown playing Creighton in the Big East tournament quarterfinals. This weekend's going to tell a lot into how we're going to be going into the tournament, just because, like I've been saying, this is a time where the regular season is wrapping up and we're entering those conference tournaments. Just like the men's, a good amount of these teams, if they averaged very well regular seasons, they will automatically be qualifying to the tournament. But if not, a lot of these smaller teams do still have a chance to sneak in if they win their conference tournament outright. Don't sleep on the small schools. Just like the men's will be going into a deeper dive into the tournament and who we can be looking out for. But that is your little update for the weekly wrap-up on women's and a little introduction to the weekend. Alrighty, next order of business today, guys, we have the NBA. Just going over a little wrap-up of how it went yesterday, Thursday, March 6th. The Bulls beat the Magic, the Hawks beat the Pacers, the Celtics beat the Sixers, the Warriors beat the Nets, the Rockets beat the Pelicans, and the Lakers beat the Knicks in overtime. Very good performances all around. As far as a nice introduction for what we have going forward today, the Cavs are playing the Hornets, the Jazz are playing the Raptors, the Grizzlies are playing the Mavs, the Timberwolves are playing the Heat, the Trailblazers are playing the Thunder, the Suns are playing the Nuggets, the Spurs are playing the Kings, and the Knicks are playing the Clippers. Moving into the weekend, just want to highlight a couple games. The Lakers are playing the Celtics tomorrow on Saturday. The Pistons are playing the Warriors. That should end up being a pretty good one. And it's really the highlighted games. As far as close games, the Bulls and Heat and the Pelicans Rockets should also be pretty close. A little move on to Sunday. The Nuggets are playing the Thunder. That one should be pretty good. The Cavaliers are playing the Bucks. Eastern game right there. That one should also be pretty good. And the Clippers are playing the Kings. That one also should be rather juicy. I did just want to go over a standings update just because we haven't had one since about the All-Star break. So, the way that we are looking in the East, the Cavs are at first of Cleveland. The Boston Celtics are in second. The New York Knicks are in third. The Milwaukee Bucks are in fourth. The Indiana Pacers are in fifth. The Detroit Pistons are in sixth. The Miami Heat in seventh. Atlanta Hawks in eighth. The Orlando Magic at 9. And the Chicago Bulls at 10th. In the Western Conference, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder at 1, the Los Angeles Lakers at 2, the Denver Nuggets at 3, Memphis Grizzlies at 4, Houston Rockets at 5, Golden State Warriors at 6, Minnesota Timberwolves at 7, LA Clippers at 8, Sacramento Kings at 9, and the Dallas Mavericks at 10. So, another little reminder that the top 6 automatically advance, and those last 4 teams are qualified to make it into the play-in series. That's what it is right now. We do have a couple more weeks here until the playoffs get going, but that's your little basketball highlight for today in the NBA. Alrighty, so I did also want to recap the Unrivaled League. So on Monday, we had the Rose played the Laces. The Rose won 58-53. We had the Phantom play the Lunar Owls. The Lunar Owls won 92-79. And then today we have the Laces playing the Phantom. We have the Lunar Owls playing Rose. And then tomorrow we have Mist playing the Laces and the Phantom playing Vinyl. We also have 2 games on Monday, Lunar Owls versus Mist and Vinyl versus Rose, but we will give a better introduction to those games on Monday. That's how we are looking for game-wise. As far as standings, we have the Lunar Owls still in first. They have clinched a playoff spot. And then the Rose Club in second has also clinched a playoff spot. So next we have the Laces in third, Mist in fourth, and Vinyl in fifth. And finishing them off, we have Phantom. Phantom only has 3 wins. It's going to be really tough for them to contend. So it's really all between the Laces, Mist, and Vinyl. Laces have 6 wins, Mist have 5, and Vinyl also have 5. It's going to be close. Top 4 teams contend, and their playoff series does begin March 17th, I did see. The 16th, I'm sorry. So this week we have our last couple games, and then we will see who makes it towards the playoffs, and then onward to winning the first season of the Unrivaled League. Historic stuff, kind of like the TGL, first season, first of its kind, first to do it. Pretty sick stuff. Just congratulations to the ladies participating in this league. They do have a MVP voting at the moment on their website. If you want to check that out and vote for your MVP, it's letting you do your top 3. I did want to highlight, I picked my top 3, and not to brag, but my top 3 are the top 3 in player stats this year. At number 1, Nafisa Collier, Kayla McBride at number 2, and then Dearica Hamby at 3. I did not look at the player stats before, and I did pick them in that exact order. So your boy knows his Unrivaled League. That's all we got for you today. We will keep an update for you to see how these Friday and Saturday games went on Monday and introduce how we have those games going later next week, early next week, and then playoffs are next weekend, following weekend. That's all we got. I just want to say thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Crazy stuff going on this week. The Arnold Palmer should definitely be an interesting finish. Keep an eye out for those UFC matches. They're going to be really good. And then naturally for the Unrivaled League, watch those matches on TNT or TBS. And then college basketball. It's March. How could I ever forget? You could start filling out your brackets now. If not, you can wait a week. But Selection Sunday is March 16th. No, it is March. Yes. Bye.